Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is now in session. Our first case is Linda Jean James. Ms. James, you can take your mic off of mute.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. This is cause number 330654, case of style, the state of Texas versus Linda Jean James. Ms. James, is that your full name?
Yes, it is.
Okay. How are you doing, Ms. James?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Ms. James. You're represented by your attorney Jared Gilthorpe, who is also appearing via Zoom. Attorney Gilthorpe, how are you doing? Oh, your mic is on mute, Mr. Gilthorpe.
I'm doing well, Judge. Thank you.
That's good. And the state is represented by Assistant District Attorney Tommy Coleman. Attorney Coleman, how are you doing?
Good, Your Honor.
Mr. Gilthorpe, what is your announcement in Ms. James' case?
On Ms. James' case, we've received all of our discovery. We would like a little time to review the videos with the defendant, and then I believe we can resolve it.
Okay, how much time do you need?
A regular reset would be fine.
Okay, give us a date. This is on page 3 of the announcement docket at the bottom.
August 1st.
Okay. This case will be reset to August 1st of 2022. Ms. James, your attorney and your bondsman, well, your attorney will be given a copy of your reset. Stay in contact with your attorney. This will conclude your case. You're free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Gilthorpe, let's see. You have Jose Amenderis.
That's correct, Judge.
Yes, he didn't, could you call it, Mr. Bailey, would you please, Mr. Porter, would you please call the name of
I
Jose?
believe he's on Zoom, Judge. I believe he's Chris Aviles.
Oh, he is?
I believe that's him.
I thought we had an Aviles.
I could be mistaken, but I believe that's one of his last names.
Yeah, Dustin Galmore is my lawyer.
Okay, okay, is your name Jose Amenderis?
Aviles is mine, and that's Dustin Galmore is my.
Oh, sorry,
Okay.
Judge.
Okay, okay,
That is not the same. He's supposed to be here on Zoom. I'll see if I can reach out to him.
okay. Okay, we'll come back to it.
Thank you.
William Charles Mallett. Court is in session in 2 cases. First case is cause number 328010. Second case is cause number 331672. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus William Charles Mallett. Mr. Mallett, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mallett, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Mallett, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God? Mr. Mallett, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Mallett? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Mallett, you're here represented by your attorney Marva Provo. Attorney Provo, how are you doing? Ms. Provo, did you waive a record in Mr. Mallett's cases? Mr. Mallett, in cause number 328010, the state has filed an information. In this information, it alleges that on or about August 15th of 2020, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with an open container. Mr. Mallett, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Mallett, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Now, you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mallett, I have before me, let's see, I gotta get this up. Let me see. 49. Okay. Now, Mr. Mallett, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Now, I've just scratched out the range of punishment here because it's, let me see, driving while intoxicated with an open container. The range of punishment, this is a Class B misdemeanor, is confinement in jail for a term of at least 6 days, but not to exceed 180 days, a fine not to exceed $2,000 of both such fine and confinement. Do you understand the range of punishment for a driving while intoxicated with an open container?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of the same document, there are a set of initial, like a signature. Yeah, that must be a signature. You're supposed to put his initials right here. You could erase it in. Okay. Now, Mr. Mallett, on page 2 of State's Exhibit number 1, which is the misdemeanor plea admonishments, there are a set of initials on the line. Next to a box, there's check nolo contendere, which means no contest. Mr. Mallett, did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of this same document, Mr. Mallett, there is a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
On the next document, which is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, it is.
At the top of this document, there are two boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
I understand.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
I understand.
And Mr. Mallett, I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, it is.
Now, Mr. Mallett, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney, Ms. Provo, go over these documents with you? Yes. And did you read and understand everything in these documents? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Mr. Mallett, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1. State, you like to offer State's Exhibit Number 1 and State's Exhibit Number 2?
Yes, sir.
The
State
probable
offers
cause
states,
affidavit?
yes, sir. State offers states 1 and 2.
Any objections? No objections. State's Exhibits 1 and 2 are admitted, and the court will take judicial notice of State's Exhibit Number 2, which is in the court's file. Ms. Provo, you have advised and counseled Mr. Mallett. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial? Mr. Mallett, your attorney, Ms. Provo, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with her representation?
Yes, sir.
Has she provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes.
Mr. Mallett, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
In exchange for the defendant's plea of no contest in this case, states recommended confinement in the Jefferson County Jail for a period of 90 days. However, we're asking that the court suspend the imposition of the jail sentence, place the defendant on community supervision for a period of 12 months, or they pay a $800 fine, perform 80 hours of community service restitution, perform and comply with all of the other standard conditions of probation, including a DWI education course and a drug and alcohol assessment. Judge. Oh, and also as part of this plea, we're agreeing to dismiss pursuant to Chapter 1245, the companion case of failed to ID of hearing cause number 331672.
Yeah, that is, affidavit injuries. Mr. Mallett, the state is offering that you serve 90 days in the Jefferson County Jail, but you will not have to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be on probation for 1 year, which is 12 months. During the 12-month or 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $800 plus court costs of $472. The fine and court costs, the total fine and court cost is $1,272. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month. You'll be also required to reimburse Jefferson County for the court-appointed attorney's fees of $250. You will be required to pay Jefferson County DWI education class and initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month while you are on probation, is $215. Mr. Mallett, will you be able to pay the $215 each month?
Yes, sir. I have a job.
You did? You have a job? Okay. Now, Mr. Mallett, you will also be required to perform 80 hours of community service. You'll be required to attend and complete a DWI education class. You'll have a drug and alcohol assessment. You will also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. And as part of this plea bargain, the state will be dismissing cause number 331-672. Mr. Mallett, do you understand the state's offer?
I understand.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer? Mr. Mallett, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Mallett, you're gonna stand on the X next to your attorney. You're gonna follow the directions of our court clerk. You will also be given a copy of your paperwork and your dismissal. And once you get your paperwork and your dismissal, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. All right, you can stand on the X. Yes, once he get his paperwork.
Why don't you write something right there? Look it up. Try it again. Thank you. There's a signature there right here. If you will sign for it, you won't see it, but I will. It's probably you can sign.
One of them is 'cause,
Once you leave here, you are reporting to probation, to the address and the map. Okay? What did you leave here? Mhm. And you give them that paperwork right there.
Good morning. Okay. We have next, we have any other any paperwork?
They hadn't signed the side.
They hadn't signed it? Okay. What, they haven't signed anybody else?
When it was ready.
When? Okay.
That's it.
That's it.
She speaks English.
Yes.
Okay. This is cause number 326460. How you pronounce her last, her middle name? Zach? It's
Just Tina Wynn, Tina.
Tina
Swan.
Swan Win. Okay. Case is style of state of Texas versus Tina Swan Win. Ms. Wynn, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Wynn, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Wynn, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God?
Yes.
Okay, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Ms. Wynn?
Fine, how are you, sir?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Ms. Wynn, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Alan Parker. Attorney Parker, how are you
You
doing?
good, Judge, thanks.
That's good. And the state is represented here by Attorney Ray Shearer. Attorney Shearer, how are you doing?
Doing good, Your Honor.
Okay, and just before we get started, I think prior to this case being started today, there was a gentleman that appeared in court. I think his name was Cal Jones, is that correct, Mr. Bailey? Yeah, he said he was a character witness for Ms. Wynn.
I haven't
Okay, I'm
talked to
just-
Mr. Jones. I don't need his testimony. It's a brief plea, Judge.
Okay, but
I'm
just
good.
for the record, I know
Okay,
Mr. Jones.
yeah,
I think he's a councilman in
Arthur.
Port Arthur, Texas.
yeah.
Now, if the state or the defense think there may be a appearance of impropriety for me in this case, I would recuse myself. State, you have any objections to me, sitting on this case?
The state has no objection.
No,
In defense?
objection, Judge. No.
Okay, and just for the record, the court has not talked to Mr. Jones about this case or even Ms. Wynn about this case. Okay, now, Mr. Parker, do you waive a record in Ms. Wynn's
We
case?
do, Judge.
Okay. Okay, let's see. Ms. Wynn,
Sir.
I have before me a document. Okay, the person that's on Zoom that has just iPhone, would you please put your mic on mute? Yeah, put your mic on mute. I get it, I just did it. Okay, Ms. Wynn, I have before me a document that is titled information. This information alleges that on or about March 11 of 2020, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of gambling promotion. Ms. Wynn, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Ms. Wynn, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contact.
No contest. Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you don't wish to fight or contest these charges?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Wynn, I also have before me a document that is titled the misdemeanor plea admonishments. On page 2 of this document, Ms. Wynn, there are a set of initials on a line next to a box that says check nolo contendere, which means no contest. Ms. Wynn, did you place your initials on this document? On page 3 of the same document, Ms. Wynn, there's a signature above the line that's titled defendant. Is that your signature?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And on the next document, which is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, there's a signature at the bottom of this document above the line that's titled defendant. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
There are two boxes checked at the top of this document.
Yes, sir.
The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
I understand.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Let's see. Ms. Wynn, I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Ms. Wynn, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Nguyen, before you sign and initial all of these documents that I've just mentioned to you, did your attorney, Mr. Parker, go over these documents with you?
Sir.
And did you read and understand everything that he went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct
Yes, sir.
to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishments, and State's Exhibit number 2, the probable cause affidavit. State, you like to offer States 1 and 2?
Yes, Your Honor, we would.
Any objections? No objections. States Exhibits 1 and 2 will be admitted in court. Will take judicial notice of States Exhibit number 2, which is in the court's file. Oh, Ms. Nguyen,
Yes, sir.
are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Parker, you've advised and counseled Ms. Nguyen. Is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Nguyen,
Yes,
your attorney, Mr. Parker, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ms. Nguyen, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, we do.
And what is that agreement?
The state is offering 1-year deferred probation, a $1,000 fine, 40 hours of community service, and a agreed forfeiture of $435 in cash. That agreed motion is before the court.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Nguyen,
Yes, sir.
I have before me a joint motion to forfeit.
$435.
Yes, it's $435 US currency. Ms. Nguyen,
Yes, sir.
do you recognize this document?
Yes.
Is this your signature online as titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, Ms. Nguyen, before you sign this document, did your attorney go over this document with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything that he went over? And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Okay, court is going to grant the forfeiture of $443. Forfeited to the Port Arthur Police Department. Today is the 13th. Okay, now Ms. Nguyen,
Yes, sir.
the state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During this 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $1,000 plus court costs of $302, which comes to a total of fine and court costs of $1,302. The probation fee in this case is you'll be required to pay $60 each month. You'll be required to pay $15 each month in a urinalysis fee. Now, your total monthly installments, that is, the total amount that you will be required to pay each month is $195 a month. Ms. Nguyen, would you be able to pay the $195 each month?
Yes, sir.
You'll also be required to perform 40 hours of community service, and you're forfeiting they got $425 in here. It's supposed to be $435.
130.
Yeah, she just had the wrong amount in there. You'll be forfeiting $435 US currency to the Port Arthur Police Department. You'll also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of your probation. Ms. Nguyen, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Nguyen,
Yes, sir.
I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. I would defer finding of guilt, place you on deferred adjudicated probation for a year. Now, Ms. Nguyen, if you successfully complete this 1 year deferred probation, this case will be dismissed. It will not appear on your record as a conviction, and you may qualify for a non-disclosure. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. I understand.
All right, you may stand on the X next to your attorney.
Thank you, sir.
And you could talk to your attorney about the non-disclosure. He's quite competent in those matters. Okay, court is in session, back in session, with two cases, Robert Adam Goff, cause numbers 327-450 and cause number 331-290. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Robert Adam Goff. We have Mr. Goff appearing via Zoom. Mr. Goff, how are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Goff, you are represented here by your attorney, Attorney Dustin Galmore. Attorney Galmore, how are you doing?
Great, good. How you doing today?
I'm doing fine. Mr. Galmore, what's your announcement in Mr. Goff's case?
Ready on Mr. Bell.
Okay, we're gonna have to reset that for trial. Give us a trial date. Okay, this case is gonna be reset to August 22nd. Mr. Goff, your attorney and your bondsman will be given notice of your reset dates. Stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. This will conclude your case. You're free to go. Thanks for being patient with us, and you have a blessed day.
Yes, sir. Thank you. You too.
You're welcome. Christopher Paul Avalaz is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Avalaz, you can take your mic off of mute.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Avalaz, how are you doing?
Good. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing fine. Mr. Avalez, you're also represented here by Attorney Galmore. Attorney Galmore, what's your announcement in Mr. Avalez case?
I'm ready.
Okay, give us a reset on for trial on that. It's gonna be reset to August 22nd. Mr. Avalez, your case is reset for trial August 22nd. Stay in contact with your attorney. He will be given notice of your reset date. Your reset date is August 22nd, 2022. This will conclude your case. Thanks for being patient with us. You're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Bless it to you.
You're welcome. Is Daniel Young?
He's the person.
Yeah, I know. I thought he would be in it. Daniel Young? Oh, Mr. Galmore, would you please go sign? Hold on. Okay, court is in session in three cases. Okay, cause number 321-944, cause number 326-544, and cause number 330-0092. All three cases are styled the state of Texas versus Daniel Henry Young Jr. Mr. Young, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, Mr. Young, I see here in cause number 321-944, you're represented by Attorney Dustin Galmore.
Payment, I'm trying to pay him off, and I was wondering if I could just have maybe one more extension, and I know for a fact I'll have him paid off in full.
Okay, let me ask you this now.
On
I guess
case
the question-
represent him on, Judge, we're ready. On the case I represent him on.
The case you represent him on, you ready?
And
Okay,
On the other cases, either.
he's gonna try to retain you on that.
That's
I
right.
see those are not set for trial.
That's right.
We're
Okay.
trying to run them at the same time here. Joe.
Yeah, we're gonna keep them together, but we're gonna reset this case. Give us a trial date for August 22nd. Now, Mr. Young, your attorney, Mr. Galmore, is gonna sign on the one case that he's the attorney of record on, okay? And then after he signs, then you're gonna sign on the other two cases. And then once Mr. Galmore, I guess, gets hired, or whoever you hire, they'll send the court a letter of representation, and then they'll be put on your case. Okay, so you can stand on the X. Okay, and once you sign, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Is Tyler Tatum here? To come forward. Court is in session in two cases. Cause number 324-437 and cause number 324-865. All two cases are filed the state of Texas versus Tyler James Tatum. Mr. Tatum, is that your full name?
Yes, Your Honor.
How you doing, Mr. Tatum?
Pretty good, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Tatum, you're represented here by your attorney Dustin Galmore. Attorney Galmore, what's your announcement in Mr. Tatum's cases?
Still a trial, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, your case is going to be reset for trial, Mr. Tatum, for September 12th of 2022. Your attorney and your bondsman will be given notice of your reset dates. Your attorney, Mr. Galmore, is going to sign for your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Please stand on the X in front of, next to Mr. Galmore.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Monte Bruno. Is your full name Monta Shania Bruno? Okay, Ms. Bruno, how are you doing? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Ms. Bruno. You're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Galmore, your announcement in Ms. Bruno's case.
That's still a trial, Your Honor.
Okay, give us a trial date. Okay, this case, Ms. Bruno, is going to be set for trial September 12th. Your attorney is going to sign for your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Mr. Galmore, would you please sign for a reset? Oh, she has two cases, cause number 324-756 as well. Esteban Avalos. That's on the announcement docket, page 3. Esteban Avalos. Actually, he has a drug, he's set in drug court today as well. Yeah, page 3 at the top. Mr. Galmo, you have Esteban Avalos like he's set for drug court today?
Yes, we are. We're going there next.
Okay, make sure that well, he may be over there. So when you finish with his
He's up there.
Avalos?
No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking
Oh.
Ramses Morales. No.
Okay.
Esteban Avalos is probably in drug court. Yes.
Okay, but when you finish having to come over here, if he doesn't reappear, his bond may be forfeited. Okay? Okay, let's see, DG. Okay, let's see who else. Morales, Ramses Concepcion Morales Jr.
Yes. And we're going to be heading to drug court next.
Okay, well,
This guy.
y'all can go over there, and when you finish over there, come back over here and
He's going to be reset in drug court because it's his first appearance.
okay,
Um,
but he needs to
but he needs to come back.
come
here.
back here, so and tell us what the date is or whatever.
They
and then
usually don't
we'll-
give us a date until. the
Okay,
end
well,
of the
just,
day.
okay, just having to reappear and then this case will be reset. Okay.
Yes, she still have Lindo Gonzalez on.
It must be on the pretrial conference. Gonzalez, you
trial
said?
docket. He should be on the trial docket. Might be my oldest one.
You said Gonzalez. On trial docket.
It's got Mr. Dowden on it.
Where's, what page? Oh, the trial docket? LaRon Dowden, yeah. Okay. It's, he's on Zoom. Okay, this is cause number 322-186, case of style of state of Texas versus Rosendo de Jesus Gonzalez. Mr. Rosendo Gonzalez, you could take your mic off of mute.
It does not appear his audio is connected. It says, oh no, that's your audio.
Yeah, mine's on, but I'm looking at his he's on mute. I was just trying to tell him, take it off mute. Mr. Gonzalez, you could take your mic off of mute. You might have some difficulties doing that. What's your announcement in Mr. Gonzalez?
Still a trial judge.
Give us a reset date. Okay, this case is gonna be reset to September 12, 2022. Mr. Gonzalez, your case is being reset to September 12 of 2022 for trial. Stay in contact with your attorneys, Mr. Larry Dowden and attorney Dustin Galmore. You're free to go. You have a blessed day. And thanks for being patient with us. And Mr. Galmore, is this your last case?
It is. I'll be back after drug court.
All right. Okay, you're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
And Mr. Gilthorpe, we're back. Did his client?
Yes, Judge, he's on Zoom as well.
Okay. Okay. This is cause number 329418. Case is style the state of Texas versus Jose Angel Nunez Amandaris. Mr. Amandaris, you could take your mic off of mute. Take your mic off. Well, yeah, I see he's waving. I was telling him to take his mic off of mute. Mr.
Puedes
Galmo,
aprender el micrófono. Sorry, Judge. I think there was a language barrier there.
oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, there he is. Mr. Gilthorpe, what's your announcement in Mr. Amandaris's case?
Judge, we've applied for pretrial diversion. We're waiting on a response on that. If he's accepted, it'll resolve it that way. If he's not accepted, we do have an offer that we will accept if he's not accepted in a pretrial diversion.
I think the next sign-up date is in September. I think it's in the month of September. Let's set him in the second week of September. Yes, he's a second on page 2, second from one from the bottom. Okay, this case is going to be reset to September 12th of 2022. Give you an opportunity to see if he can get in the pretrial diversion. And Mr. Gilthorpe, is this your last case?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Gilthorpe, you could tell Mr. Amandaris to stay in contact with you, and his case is reset to September 12th of 2022.
Thank you, Judge. Señor Almendares, le pusieron una fecha nueva. Si puede marcar a nuestra oficina y yo le puedo informar del estatus del caso, ¿ok?
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, gracias.
All right,
Bye-bye.
all right. Y'all have a blessed day. Is the Provost case, you ever signed it? Keyshawn Jeremiah Ivory. That's just a simple assault. Okay. Court is in session and calls number 322058. Case is style of state of Texas versus Keyshawn Jeremiah Ivory. Ms. Ivory, is that your full name? Ms. Ivory, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Ivory, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Ivory, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Ms. Ivory? That's good. Mr. Ivory, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Marvin Provo. Attorney Provo, do you waive a record in Mr. Ivory's case? Mr. Ivory, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This document was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. This document alleges that on or about March 8 of 2018, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of assault. Mr. Ivory, do you understand what you've been charged with? And to this charge, Mr. Ivory, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Mr. Ivory, I also have before me a document that is titled the Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment, also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document? On page 2 of the same document, Mr. Ivory, he got his signature on this one, supposed to be his initials. Mr. Ivory, I have before me, again, this document is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment Mistakes Exhibit number 1 on page 2 of this document. There is one box that's checked. The box that's checked is titled Nolo Contendere, which means no contest. And next to that box, there's a line with a set of initials on it. Are these did you place your initials on this document? On page 3 of this same document, Mr. Ivory, there's a signature above the top, above the line that's titled Defendant. Is that your signature? And on the next document, Mr. Ivory, there is this document is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Do you recognize this document? At the bottom of this document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Sure.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that? Mr. Ivory, I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Ivory, before you signed and initial all of these documents that I just mentioned to you, did your attorney go over these documents with you? And did you read and understand everything in these documents? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Ivory, are you a citizen of the United States? State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer State's Exhibit number 1 and
Yes.
State's Exhibit number 2 to probable cause affidavit?
Yes, your state offers both states 1 and 2.
Any objections? No objections. State's Exhibits 1 and 2 are admitted. And court will take judicial notice of State's Exhibit number 2 in the court's file. Ms. Provo, you've advised and counseled Mr. Ivory. Is there any evidence that he's currently mentally incompetent to stand trial? No. Mr. Ivory, your attorney, Ms. Provo, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with her representation?
Yes, sir.
Has she provided full, effective, and competent legal representation? Mr. Ivory, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers was freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
On what is that agreement?
In exchange for the defendant's plea in this case, the state's recommending that the court defer a finding of guilt and place this defendant on community supervision for a period of 12 months, or that he pay a $500 fine, perform 36 hours of community service restitution, pay the cost of court and comply with the standard terms and conditions of probation to include anger management, and that he have no contact with the complainant in this case, Serenity Bill Williams. Serenity Bill Williams.
Okay, Mr. Ivory, the state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs of $412, which comes to a total of fine and cost of $912 for his affidavit injury. And you'll also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month. You'll be required to reimburse Jefferson County court-appointed attorney's fees in the amount of $250. Now, your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you'll be required to pay each month while you are on probation, is $185 per month. Mr. Ivory, will you be able to pay the $185 each month? Yeah. You will also be required to perform 36 hours of community service, attend and complete an anger management class. You cannot have any contact with the victim, in this case, Serenity Bill Williams. And you will also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of your probation. Mr. Ivory, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer?
Sir.
Do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, Mr. Ivory, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Ivory, if you successfully complete this probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It will not result in a conviction on your record, and you may qualify for non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney, Ms. Provo, about the non-disclosure because she's quite competent in those matters. Mr. Ivory, you're going to stand, no, Mr. Ivory, you'll stand on the X next to your attorney and follow the directions of our clerk. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. Yes, and you may be excused, Ms. Provo. You have a blessed day as well. Next case is cause number 329-880. Case is filed the state of Texas versus Gerald Wayne Bryant. Mr. Bryant, how are you doing?
Doing good.
That's good. Mr. Bryant, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Bruce Cobb. Attorney Cobb, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Cobb, what's your announcement in Mr. Bryant's case?
My announcement is still, we intend to try to get him back on that diversion program. Something happened with the paperwork, and for some reason, I wasn't be able to get my appointment with Mr. Bryan on the 2nd. So I'm going to reapply for the DWI diversion program, and we'll get him this time, get him on there.
Okay, I think I see here on the docket sheet, they say he was approved for the DWI pretrial diversion program April 1st of 2022. So I think the thing you would have to do is contact them to set up an appointment, another sign-up date.
Yes, sir.
Is that correct, Mr. Coleman?
That's my understanding, Judge.
Okay, so the next sign-up date is September. We're gonna reset this case September, give us a reason. Okay, this case is gonna be reset September 12th, and that should give him enough time to sign up for that September date. And then, Mr. Bryant, your case is gonna be reset to September 12th. Your attorney is going to get with the DA's office so that you can sign up for the pretrial diversion. Sometime, I think it's the first Thursday in September. So stay in contact with your attorney. This case will be reset. Now you'll have to appear in court for your signing, and you got to appear in court on this date as well. All right.
So the sign-in is.
Well, your attorney gonna let you know that. Stay in contact with your attorney. He has to set it up. He has to get you on the list. Okay. So this case is gonna be reset to September 12th, which is after your sign-up date. You're gonna get a copy of your reset here in court. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Cobb, you can please stand on the far X. And Mr. Cobb, your attorney, Mr. Cobb, is this your last case?
Yes, Your Honor, this is the last case.
Okay, you're free to go. Your reset will be sent to you, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Mr. Smith,
Yes, Your Honor.
you have Donald Lewis.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is Donald Lewis here?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Lewis? This is cause number 325374, case of style of state of Texas versus Donald Ray Lewis. Mr. Lewis, is that your full name?
Yes.
How you doing, Mr. Lewis? You doing okay? That's good. Mr. Lewis, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Bruce Smith. Attorney Smith, how are you doing?
Fine.
Attorney Smith, what's your announcement in Mr. Lewis's case?
Mr. Lewis, Your Honor, has a serious medical illness, and he's fixing to go through some significant medical procedures. So we're asking the court to set this for a plea, like either
Court's in session.
sometime in August or early September.
Okay. So how much time do you need?
Early September would be ideal because he says he's gonna have surgery and
Early September? Give us an early September date. Is that fine? September 12th?
that'd be great.
Okay. So, Mr. Lewis, your case is going to be reset to September 12th of 2022. We'll be praying that everything turns out well with you, with your surgery. And your attorney is going to sign for your reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
And Mr. Smith, you have another case?
Yes, Your Honor, I have a motion withdrawn on Damon Stanford, which is a court-appointed case. He's here.
Okay. Okay, once you go ahead on and sign for that reset, and we'll call Mr. Stanford up. Damon J. Stanford. Can I get a copy of his, bring me a copy of his, motion to withdraw? This is cause number 3. He's on the, announcement docket, on page 2. He has 2, yeah, he got 2 cases. Mr. Stanford, your full name is, Damon Chase, is that Jace?
Yes, sir.
Damon J. Stanford.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Stanford, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Stanford, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Stanford, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Stanford?
Yeah, how about yourself?
I'm doing fine, Mr. Stanford. Your attorney, Mr. Bruce Smith, has filed a motion to withdraw in both of your cases. Have you received a copy of that motion? Go ahead and give me those 2. I'll
Oh,
get the
we
ones
had a
from.
discussion.
Go ahead on it. And reach me with those motions. You got mine. Okay, now, Mr. Stanford, your attorney, Mr. Smith, is requesting the withdrawal from your case because 1, he's no longer on the court appointed list, and further, due to a heavy trial and hearing schedule, he does not have sufficient time to complete this case on a court appointed basis. Mr. Smith, do you have, excuse me, Mr. Stanford, do you have any objections to Mr. Smith withdrawing from your cases?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, Mr. Smith, the court is going to grant your motions to withdraw in each one of these cases, and you'll release from representing Mr. Stanford.
Thank you.
You're free to go.
Now, these two.
Yes. Now, Mr. Stanford, as a defendant in a criminal case, you have 3 options. You could either, 1, if you want to hire an attorney, you can do that, or if you, you've already qualified for court-appointed attorney. If you want the court to appoint you another attorney in Mr. Smith's place, we can do that, or if you want to represent yourself, you can do that.
I was wondering if I could have a court appointment.
Okay, all right. Okay, Mr. Stanford, the attorney that will be appointed to represent you in your cases is Attorney Todd LeBlanc. And our court coordinator is going to give you the information on how to contact Mr. LeBlanc. And Mr. LeBlanc will be giving information on how to contact you. So at this time, we need you to stand on the far X in front of our court coordinator so that you can get your reset. All right. And once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Ricky Turner. Is Ricky Turner present?
He said he was gonna be on Zoom, Judge. I don't know if he's up there or not.
Ricky Turner, calls number 322-493. I don't think we have Jay Doyle. We have John West, Rosendo Gonzalez, and Farlow. No.
I'll have him, I'll get in touch with him.
Okay, we'll give you time to do that.
So we can zoom in. Do you have two other cases, Judge? One's gonna be a plea.
Have you fill out the paperwork?
Yes.
Yeah. Court is in session in 3 cases. All 3 cases are filed with the state of Texas versus Lloyd Jones Jr. First case is cause number 325318. Second case is cause number 327334. And the third case is cause number 3274. 844. In all cases of State of Texas versus Lloyd Jones Jr. Mr. Jones, is that your full name? Mr. Jones, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Jones, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. Jones, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Jones? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Jones, I have before me, well, Mr. Jones, you're represented here by your attorney, Mr. Charles Rojas. Attorney Rojas, how are you doing?
Doing well, Judge.
Attorney Rojas, do you waive a record in Mr. Jones' cases?
We do.
Mr. Jones, I have before me in cause number 325318, an information that alleges that on or about August 16 of 2019, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of resisting arrest, search, transportation. Mr. Jones, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Jones, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Yes.
Now you're pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Jones, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Mr. Jones, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of the same document, Mr. Jones, there's a signature, well, some initials, LJ on the line next to a box that says check guilty. Mr. Jones, did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On the next document, Mr. Jones, on the same document, the next page, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
On the next document, which is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature above the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
There are two boxes that are checked at the top of this document. The first box says check, states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box that check states that you are waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Mr. Jones, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature above the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Jones, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment. State, you like to offer State's 1?
Yes, Your Honor, we would.
No objection, Your Honor.
No objection. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Jones, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes.
Mr. Rojas, you've advised in counsel, Mr. Jones, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Jones, your attorney, Mr. Rojas, is advised and counseled you in this case. Are you satisfied with his services?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Jones, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers are freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement in this
Yes, Your Honor,
case?
we do have an agreement.
And what is that agreement?
In cause number 325318, the defendant will serve 90 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, that time will be probated over 1 year. He will pay a $500 fine and do 40 hours of community service. This cause number is to run concurrent with a plea agreement in 327334 and a previous felony in which he received deferred on 21-37001. And in exchange for this, we will be dismissing 327844.
Okay, Mr. Jones, the state is offering that you serve 90 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you will be placed on probation for 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs of plus court costs of $357, which comes to a total of fine and court costs of $857. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a year analysis fee of $15 each month. You will also be required to reimburse the Jefferson County court-appointed attorney's fees of $150. Should let's see. Now, you'll be required to pay this back in monthly installments in the amount of $170. Will you be able to pay the $170 each month?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Jones, this will probably be reduced by $60 because you're currently on probation, so you only pay one probation fee. All right.
Yes, sir.
Now, you will be required to perform 40 hours of community service. This case will run concurrent with cause numbers 327334 and cause number 21-31001.
Be 37001.
Okay, this case will run concurrent with cause number 327334 and cause number 21-37001
Yes, sir.
and cause number 327844 will be dismissed. Mr. Jones, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in this case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Jones, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have reached with the state. And Mr. Jones will proceed to your next case, which is cause number 327334. And Mr. Jones, in that case, I have an information that has been filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office that alleges that, hold on, taking a little time to get up. Okay, this information alleges that on or about April 25th of 2020, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated. Mr. Jones, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to discharge, Mr. Jones, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Now, you're pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna take the wrong box, 'cause I'm picking up-
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Now, Mr. Jones, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Mr. Jones, do you recognize this document? On page 2 of this same document, Mr. Jones, there's a set of initials, LJ, above the line that is titled, well, on a line that is titled, that the box is checked guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of this same document, Mr. Jones, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document, which is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature above the line that's titled defendant? There are 2 boxes that are checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargaining case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Jones, I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Jones, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1. State, you like to offer State's 1?
State would, Your Honor.
Any objections?
Oh, Your Honor.
No objection. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Jones, your attorney, Mr. Rojas, has advised and counseled you in this case as well. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided fully effective and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Rojas, is there any evidence that Mr. Jones is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Jones, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, Your Honor, we do.
And what is that agreement?
The agreement is on cause number 327334, that Mr. Jones would receive 90 days probated over 1 year with a $500 fine, 40 hours of community service, and the standard DWI first probation terms. In addition to that, it will run concurrent with 325318 and 21-37001, and we will be dismissing 327844.
Okay. Mr. Jones, the state is offering that you serve 90 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any time in Jefferson County Jail in this case because you'll be placed on probation for 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs of $422. You'll also be required to pay a urinalysis fee of $15 each month. You'll be required to reimburse Jefferson County Court appointed attorney's fees of $150. You'll be required to pay Jefferson County DWI education class and initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, your total monthly installments in this case is $125 per month. Mr. Jones, will you be able to pay the $125 per month?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Jones, you'll also be required to perform 40 hours of community service, attend and complete a DWI education class, and have a drug and alcohol assessment. Cause number 327844 will be dismissed. In this case, we'll be running concurrent with cause numbers 325318 and cause number 21-37001, and you will be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Mr. Jones, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Jones, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Jones, you're going to stand on the X next to your attorney and follow the directions of our clerk. Once you finish following the directions, she'll give you a copy of your probation paperwork, and you will also be given a copy of the dismissal. And once you get your paperwork, you'll be free to go,
Thank you.
and you have a blessed day.
You too.
And Mr. Rojas, you're gonna have to sign as well.
Yes. I had two more. Mr. Turner's on his way down there. His
Yeah.
Zoom wasn't working. So he should be here momentarily, but I also have another client that's in the courtroom.
Okay.
There's a signature pad right here. You can sign on. You won't see it out there.
The dismissal is gonna be coming off.
Ross, you can sign on.
I signed it. It didn't print off? Oh,
What's the date here? Maybe you are the report to call as the address and the name.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
yeah. Okay. Edgar Hernandez. They need to date it.
No, you need to change it.
Oh, I didn't date it. I didn't write. I just put my signature. Whoever filled it out need to change the date. It's supposed to be the 13th.
Well, can I go look at him?
You have here.
Okay.
Okay, this is cause number 330-532, case of South State of Texas versus Edgar Hernandez. Mr. Hernandez, is that your full name?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Ross, what is your announcement in Mr. Hernandez case?
Judge, if the court will recall, last time we were here, the complaining witness was going to go to the DA's office to sign a non-prosecution affidavit. She's tried that on 2 or 3 occasions. And I think every time she goes, the person that speaks Spanish isn't there. We asked another reset to do that.
Okay. Okay, how much time you need?
30 days last time. I guess another 30 days will do it. And what I'll do is I'll get with her and I'll make sure that Danielle is up there the day she goes.
Okay,
August 29th.
August 29th. Okay, Mr. Hernandez case is gonna be reset to August 29th. Mr. Ross, you can get your reset. Once you get your reset, you and Mr. Hernandez will be free to go. You have a blessed day.
Thank you.
You have another guy coming, you said?
Ricky Turner's supposed to be on his way, Judge. He may be outside.
Okay, you can sign for your reset. Okay, so he hadn't arrived yet. Okay, Robert Doucette. Mr. Yeah, Rob, okay. Robert Doucette is on the first page of the announcement docket. So he wasn't here earlier.
Robert Doucette.
Yeah, and called Darius Jones as well.
Robert Doucette. Aaron Jones. And that's Jones here.
Okay. Mr. Jones, did you come forward? Well, yeah, drug court today. Okay. This is cause number 326-196, cause number 327-014, and cause number 327-016. All 3 cases are South State of Texas versus Darius D. Jones. Darius Jones, Mr. President in court. Mr. Jones, is that your full name? Is Darius Devon Jones?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Jones? That's good, Mr. Jones. You're represented here by your attorney, Mr. Tom Burbank. Mr. Burbank, how are you doing? Mr. Burbank, what is your announcement in Mr. Jones? Because I see he has a felony case.
He does, Judge.
Was
and I
that
think I was just retained, so I'd ask for a normal reset so we take care of the felony. And
Does he have a date on the felony?
It's July 11th.
It was reset and they're gonna send it to me.
She said it was, she just
July
checked,
11th.
July 11th. You want it set on that same date or a different
That's
date?
fine, Judge.
Okay, it's gonna be reset to July 11th of 2022. Now, Mr. Jones, on that day, you need to come to this court and check in and then go to drug court. And then when you finish in drug court, you're gonna come back here.
Yes, sir.
All right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
I
sir.
think you probably did that this morning. Yeah, okay. Mr. Jones, your attorney is gonna sign for your resets. Once you get your resets from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Mr. Burbank, sign for his reset.
If we-
Your the court coordinator needs you. So you had was Doucette and Jones?
That's it, George.
Okay, Doucette hadn't answered. We give some time to.
No. Mr. Doucette is in ICU at St. Luke's. The last time we were here, he was at the Baptist. He's been transferred over there. I don't think he's doing very well. I just got an update when I was here, and I'll get you some medical that he's in ICU at St. Luke's.
Okay,
He's got heart problems, sir, and he's having complications.
okay. Okay,
But I would, if you would, I will get something and I'll fax it over to y'all and reference to.
okay.
Have excuse me.
Yes, you may. Trisha Ross. This is cause number 321-342. Case is filed with State of Texas versus, is it Trisha?
Teresa. Teresa, yes.
Teresa?
Yes, sir.
Teresa Brooks Ross?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Miss Ross?
Bless, sir.
That's good. Now, Miss Ross, your attorney of record is attorney Terrence Allison. However, standing in for Mr. Allison today is Mr. Marivius Allen.
Yes, sir.
Does Mr. Allen have your permission to stand in for Mr. Allison?
Yes, sir, it does.
Mr. Allen, how are you doing?
Good, how are you doing, Your Honor?
I'm doing fine. Mr. Allen, what is your announcement in Ms. Ross' case?
Yes, we enter a plea agreement and the JC drug impact court this morning and dismissing the misdemeanor charge.
So you should have it.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Okay, Ms. Ross,
Yes, sir.
I have before me a motion to dismiss this misdemeanor case, and I'm signing the dismissal right now.
Yes, sir.
Once I sign the dismissal, your attorney will be given a copy of the dismissal. And once he gets the dismissal, he'll give it to you. And once you get the dismissal, you'll be free to go. And you have a blessed day.
And you have a blessed day also. Sir.
And Mr. Allen, this is just your only case?
This is it.
Okay, you'll be free to go as well, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay. Okay. Ms. Perazo,
Yes, sir.
you have Isaiah
Isaiah McKyer. Yes,
McKyer.
sir.
They said he was on Zoom earlier. I don't see him on Zoom now. Oh, there he is. This is cause number 327-788. Case to style the state of Texas versus Isaiah Jose McKyer. Mr. McKyer, you could take your mic off of mute.
How you doing?
All right, I'm doing fine. Mr. McKyer, you represented in this case by your attorney Laura Perazo. Ms. Perazo, what is your announcement in Mr. McKyer's case?
Your Honor, we just need one more reset so we can have sufficient time to review his DVDs. He was supposed to come in a couple of weeks ago, but I was out sick and I had to reschedule that appointment. And so I just need one more reset so we can finish that.
Okay, how much time do you need?
Just 30 days, Your Honor.
Give us a okay, this case is gonna be reset to August 29th. Mr. McCarr, you can stay in contact with your attorney. Your attorney, your bondsman will be given the reset date of August 29th of 2022. You're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, you too, sir.
And Miss Perazzo, is this your last case?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're free to go as well and you have a blessed day.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. Why don't you come on up? You come up one at a time. Okay, what's your name? Morales?
Yes,
Oh.
Judge, I'm here on that.
Okay, Mr. Galmore. Mr. Morales was here earlier. His case was reset.
Yes, the drug
This-
court case was reset.
Okay, so you want these cases set on the same date?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, that's, what date is that? Okay, this case gonna be reset July 18th, 2022. Mr. Morales, you can stand on the far X, get your reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Esteban Avalos? Okay, and Mr. Avalos, your felony case was reset?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on a minute. And Mr. Galmore, you want his felony case and the misdemeanor set on the same date?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, what is that date on Mr. Avalos? Yeah, you free to go. Okay, it's gonna be reset to July 18th. Mr. Avalos, you can get your reset from our coordinator. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day. Thank you. Mr. Galmore, do you have any other cases?
That's all I have, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, you're free to go and you have a blessed day.
You too.
Judge, you called Ricky Turner a minute ago.
Yeah,
He's here.
that's Rojas' case, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Where did he go? No, Rojas. Did you see your attorney?
No, sir. I was trying to do it on Zoom and,
Yeah, I know. He told me, he said you was gonna be coming.
yes, sir.
Yeah, that's what
court date before you. Hasn't ever missed a meeting, and my office hasn't ever missed a phone call. So I wonder, I'd like to ask if Your Honor could hold forfeiting his bond so that I could get a response from him and perhaps have him call into the court. We can figure out what's going on. I'm worried about it, really, because we're always.
Yeah, I mean, we normally do our bond forfeitures doesn't go until like 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, so we give you some time to try to locate him.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Then I'll get back with the court as soon as I can.
Okay, but I mean, if he doesn't, you don't get back with us before 4, it end up being bond forfeiture.
That's understood.
Okay,
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
okay. You free to go. Did you get Gillett? Huh? Did you get Guillory? Let me see. She did. She only told me she had that one. What Robertson sure is. May have to call the office. Yep. Call off. Is Robertson here? Well, I know. Yeah. Okay. Ricky Turner? This is cause number 322493, case of style of state of Texas versus Ricky Robert Turner. Mr. Turner, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Turner?
So, sir, I'm all right.
You doing all right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you made it here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you healthy?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so Mr. Turner, you're represented by your attorney Charles Rojas. And Attorney Rojas, what's your announcement in Mr. Turner's case?
I think we're set on the trial document.
Yes.
We're ready.
Okay, we're gonna have to give you a reset for trial. Hold on. You're gonna stand on the 4X and get your reset date for trial. It's on trial docket, page 1, Ricky Turner. Give us a date.
September 12th.
Okay. Now, Mr. Turner, once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Mr. Rojas, this is your last case. You'll be free to go as well. You have a blessed day. You're welcome. John Angel Guillory. Mr. Guillory, this is cause number 331154. Case of style of state of Texas versus John Angel Guillory. Mr. Guillory, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Guillory, you appeared in court on last week. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And your attorney also appeared via Zoom. And your attorney thought he had filed his motion to, well, I got 3 copies of the same motion. Okay. He thought he had filed his motion to withdraw, and then you were informed that he was moving to Montana and he would not be able to devote any time on this case because he would no longer be practicing in the state of Texas. And you did not have any objections to him withdrawing. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. And I think at that time, the court said it was going to grant the motion. Once we got the motion and we have the motion. And so now, Mr. Guillory, you have 3 options. Regarding an attorney, one, you can hire an attorney if you desire to hire your own attorney, or you've already qualified for a court-appointed attorney. You can have a court-appointed attorney appointed to represent you, or you can waive your right to an attorney to represent yourself. And what do you desire?
The same as last time.
You want to, okay. So at this time, Mr. Turner, you've already met the eligibility requirements for the appointment of court-appointed attorney. And your attorney that's going to be represented, that's going to be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Ryan Matuska. Our court coordinator is going to give you information on how to contact Mr. Matuska. Mr. Matuska is going to be giving information on how to contact you as well. You're going to stand on the 4X to get that information. Once you get the information from our court coordinator, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. You're welcome. Okay, thank you.
Contact him, user that you choose to contact him, wait about 24 hours. Okay, all right.
We're gonna have to get a bailiff to get Ms. Carrazzo's client. Mr. West. John West.
Yes, Your Honor. Sorry, I'm trying to get my mute off.
I was looking for your, I didn't see your name on the docket.
I'm on Christina Jarrell. We were there last time, and it got put on today's docket. We just need to move it to her felony date.
Jarrell?
Jarrell, yeah.
I don't know. Last name is Jarre.
Yes, Jarrell.
What's her first name?
Christina.
Christina? Hold on a minute.
He's not her attorney on the, you don't have an attorney. She's on the, no.
She's on the announcement docket? Oh, that's why your name is not on the docket. Yeah, we don't have attorney rep letter on file.
I saw that earlier that there was not one filed. I've filed one. You should be in the queue for filing. I just filed it earlier.
Yeah, she's here.
Yes,
Okay.
I know. Yes.
Okay, she's gonna check. She's gonna look for the letter. Just hold on a minute.
Sure.
Okay, this is cause number 3319801, case of style of state of Texas versus Christina Lee Jarrell. Ms. Jarrell, is that your full name?
Yes.
Okay, now, Ms. Jarrell, did you find okay. Attorney John West filed a motion, filed a letter of representation in your case, informing the court that he has been hired to represent you. And Mr. West is appearing via Zoom. First of all, Mr. Jarrell, how are you doing?
I'm well.
And Mr. West, how are you doing?
Good, Your Honor.
Mr. West, what is your announcement in Ms. Jarrell's case?
Your Honor, she has some pending felonies, and we'd request to move that to the felony date as well.
Okay, that's July 20th.
Uh-huh. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Jarrell, your case, this misdemeanor case is going to be set on the same date that your felony cases are set on.
Yes, sir.
And what you need to do on that date, you're going to appear in this court first at 9, and then you're going to go take care of your felonies. And then once you finish your felonies, you're going to come back here, reappear here, and inform us what they did with your felonies.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
if you fail to reappear, your bond may be forfeit.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, Ms. Jarrell, you're going to be given a copy of your reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you. You as
All right,
well.
stand on that forehead. Thank you. Joseph Kevin Broussard Jr. Your full name is Joseph Kevin Broussard Jr.?
Yes.
How you doing, Mr. Broussard?
All right.
That's good, Mr. Broussard. I see here that your case was reset to give you an opportunity to hire an attorney. Is that correct?
Yes.
Have you been able to hire your attorney?
No, I cannot find one that secretly works for the state, that doesn't secretly work for the state.
Okay, so do you need more time to hire your attorney?
I believe that this court is incapable of providing me with a fair trial.
And I would like to be either moved to another one or dismissed.
Okay, well, that's not gonna happen. There are ways to have cases moved to other courts and stuff like that. Just walking in the court and say you want
Well,
to, it doesn't work like that. It
For
doesn't.
allowing the state to commit felonies to make sure I get charged with misdemeanors, you know.
Okay, so what we're gonna do, since you don't have an attorney, you still want to hire an attorney, is that correct?
No, I do not.
Okay, so you want to represent yourself? Okay, let me do this
Better
here.
than hiring an attorney that doesn't represent me anyway.
Okay, let me do this. Give him a judge's explanation of rights to defend us without an attorney, Mr. Bailey. Now, I'm gonna go over this document with you. As a defendant in a criminal case, you have three options. Number one, you may hire an attorney. Do you understand that option?
Yes.
Number two, if you do not have enough money to hire an attorney, you may request an attorney be appointed to represent you. Do you understand that option?
Yes.
And number three, you may represent yourself. Do you understand that option?
Yes, either way, I'm not gonna get a fair trial.
Okay, now, if you want an attorney to represent you and have enough money to hire an attorney, the case will be reset to give you time to do so. If you want an attorney and do not have the money to hire one, you will need to fill out a financial questionnaire so that the proper person can determine whether or not to appoint an attorney to represent you. You may not speak to the prosecutor about your case unless you sign a written waiver of your right to be represented by an attorney. Be aware that there are dangers to self-representation. Waiving your right to an attorney and representing yourself may result in a worse outcome for you and your case, including the loss of significant legal rights and opportunities relating to military service, possession of a firearm, housing and public benefits, child custody, immigration status for non-citizens, and employment. If you choose to proceed without an attorney, you may change your mind at any time and may request counsel from the court. Now, at the bottom of this document, it reads, defendant's choice. Mark initials next to only one choice. If your choice is, I want to reset this case to hire my own attorney, then your case will be reset to give you an opportunity to hire your own attorney. If you have already hired an attorney, you will place your initials. Well, if you want your case reset to hire an attorney, you put your initials on the first line to the left. If you've already hired an attorney, you place your initials on the second line to the left and the name of the attorney on the line to the right. If you want to apply for court-appointed counsel, then you will place your initials on the third line to the left. If you've already been appointed a court-appointed attorney to represent you in this case, you'll put your initials on the fourth line to the left and the name of the attorney on the line to the right. Now, if you want to waive your right to an attorney and represent yourself, then you'll put your initials on the fifth line to the left. Now, once you finish initialing one of the 5 lines,
I'm not gonna issue it.
you will sign the bottom document and date it today's date.
No, I'm not doing
Okay, now, pull up his form. I think we already have one on file form. Hey, look up his case. His case number is 326370. We already have judge's explanation of rights to defend us without an attorney. Okay, so Mr. Broussard, the court has informed you as to what your rights are concerning your case. You're not going to prolong your case by saying you can't get an
Y'all
attorney.
already taking away my rights to protect myself regardless if I have a lawyer or not.
Okay, so Mr.
So y'all been
Bruce-
violating my rights this whole time. I've been trying to come up here and deal with this.
Okay, so Mr. Broussard, as the court informed you, you have 3 options. Now, if you decide you don't want to get an attorney, you have a right to represent yourself. Okay, and that's your right. If you decided to represent yourself, you can represent yourself.
So you're worried about my rights? Is that what you're saying? You wasn't worried about my rights when they're
State would
deleting
object to
videos
this-
and.
the state would object to this narrative whenever this is.
Okay, so Mr. Broussard, what we're going to do, your case is going to be reset for an announcement. Let me do this here. Now, your case is going to be reset for an announcement. We give you an opportunity to hire your attorney. If I'm not mistaken, I think your case was set for trial, and on the trial date, your attorney withdrew, or you didn't want your attorney, or whatever happened. Is that correct?
Yes, I fired her because she was conspiring with the state.
Okay, so as I said earlier, you have a right to have an attorney. We're going to reset your 60 days to give you an opportunity to, if you want to get an attorney of your choice. If not, if you want to represent yourself, that's fine too. So we're going to reset this case 60 days.
August 29.
Okay. And just for your information, Mr. Broussard, this court have rules. If you violate any one of those rules in terms of like hollering and or whatever, if the court, tell you to lower your voice. If
I have
you,
not raised my voice.
okay, well, put it like this here, talk lower. Now, if
I'm not going to talk lower. This is the way I talk.
okay,
If y'all have a problem with that, then y'all have,
no,
then y'all are just too incompetent to even handle anybody's case.
no.
Y'all have a problem with that.
What I'm talking about,
I know what you're talking about.
okay, what am I talking about? Since you could read.
Yeah, you're trying to get me all riled up, so I be loud, so.
No.
So your little bailiffs over here can
No.
take me out. I
No.
know what you're trying to do.
No, what I'm saying is,
Whatever.
if you come back to court, and if you are violate the court's rule, you could be held in contempt of court.
I haven't violated nothing.
I'm saying, that's what I'm
They're trying
saying.
to get you to violate it right now.
Not trying to get you to
Saying
do
something.
anything. Just
You
listen,
are.
just listen. And what I'm saying is, if you violate the court's rules, you can be held in contempt of court. If you're held in contempt of court, you could be placed in jail up to 6 months. So I'm just informing you
I'm not scared of
what the
anything.
what the court's rules are, okay?
Whatever.
Okay. You can get his reset. We have a couple of people. He's in jail. I see we have Miss Stephanie Coleman. Would you please come forward? Ms. Coleman, I see that you're represented by your attorney, Ms. Stella Morrison. Have you heard from Ms. Morrison today?
No.
Have we tried to contact Ms. Morrison? Okay, the court has tried to contact your attorney. I don't know. I know she may have had some health challenges. And so what we're gonna do, we're gonna reset your case 30 days. Okay, please stand on the X.
She has another client.
On the same docket? Where? Okay, Edgar Sebrian. Okay, good morning. How are you doing?
Doing good, sir.
That's good. Now, Mr. How you pronounce your last name?
Cyprian.
Cyprian.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, Mr. Cyprian, you are also represented in your cases, cause number 325-108 and cause number 325-110 and cause number 326-280. All three cases are style of State of Texas versus Edgar Sebrian. Ms. Seaver, and you also represented by your attorney, Ms. Morrison. And Ms. Morrison is not here. I do know that she's had some health challenges. I don't know.
So I've been calling her all morning. She had to pick up.
Yeah, we did the same thing.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna reset your case 30 days. Let me ask you, Sarah. I could ask both of y'all before we do. Y'all working?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, are you working?
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, okay, we're gonna give you enough time to, so it won't interfere with your job.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
All right.
so we're gonna reset you to the same date. We say August
August 29th.
29th. Is that a good day for you?
Yes, I respect the courts. Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, you're free to go. You have a blessed day. Now, get your reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go as well. You have a blessed day. You're welcome. Who is Talton Walker? Good morning, Mr. Walker. How are you doing? All right. Okay, now this is, what's that, Talton Joseph Walker?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Walker? Okay, this is cause number 325-808. Now, Mr. Walker, I see here, you appeared here last time, is that correct?
Yes, sir. I appeared here 60 days ago, and my lawyer, I found out that morning when I saw you that he had been disbarred, and since then I haven't been able to secure no lawyer, but I'm waiting on a refund from him,
You
for the fund I paid him.
You still need some time to get your lawyers, that's what you're saying? How much time do you need?
No more than 90 days.
Okay, okay, we're gonna just hold on a minute. So you need 90 days you said you need to get a refund and, okay. Okay, hold on a minute. She's gonna give you she's gonna give me the reset date.
Lady right here.
Then the one who's working on the other case, right? Yes. You're gonna reset him 90? You stand up for it. You have a blessed day. September 12th? Okay. Daniel Rodriguez? Thank you. Okay, this is cause number 326-082, case of style of state of Texas versus Daniel Rodriguez. Mr. Rodriguez, I see your case was reset as well.
Yes, sir.
To give you an opportunity to hire your attorney.
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you need more time or do you have one?
Sir, I need some more time.
How much time do you need?
I'll take 90 days as well.
Okay. Just have a seat in the chair that has the black and yellow tape right there. And when she finished with him, she's gonna reset your case the same day. And once you get your reset, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Who else do we have?
Razzo's client.
Yes. James Robertson. Hey, Laura Pearl.
Judge, yes, I'm confused as to why he was on today's docket because I emailed a copy of the appointment that I received that was signed by you on May 31st that says that his court date was July the 8th. And that's why we didn't have it on the calendar. It's actually on my appointment sheet that we got from your court.
I have court coordinator, whoever was the court coordinator there, put it on this date. That's the only thing I know. I know he had a felony set today. Maybe they.
I didn't have any notice that he had court today. That's why I had no notice of it. I'm going by what was on the actual court appointment sheet that says it was on July 8th at 9.
Okay.
So I apologize.
Oh, that's fine. Now, Mr. Robertson.
Yes, sir.
You had your felony cases was set today as well. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. They told me to come here and get this out going first and come back over there.
Oh, so you need to go back over to drug court?
Yes, sir. I hope they don't need the 10 for 12.
No, just go over there now. Normally what we do, we tell you to come here first and then go get that reset and then come back over here.
Yeah, the bailiff there. I just told her I had a case for the day over here.
Yeah, but the only thing we allow you, just come here and check in and let us know. Then you go back over there, and then once you get it reset, you come back here. So we're gonna let you go. We're gonna let him go back over to drug court. Now, Ms. Razzo, if his case is reset in drug court, you want this case set on the same day?
I would at least like 30 days so I can have sufficient time to go over discovery and.
Oh, I'm thinking it's probably gonna be longer than that if they reset it. He just set for an announcement in drug court.
Then that would be sufficient. Yes, sir.
Okay, why don't you go back over there and then when you get that reset, come back over here. All right. All right, and then you'll be free to go, Ms. Perazzo, and we'll send you a reset.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right. You got Mr. Paget.
Both my clients should be in the hallway.
Is it Kennedy? Ronald Wayne?
Ronald Wayne Kennedy.
Yes, he's here.
Yes, he is.
June 20th.
Who?
Can we catch him? Can we catch him? They didn't change his phone yet.
I noticed that.
It's June 20th.
Okay, this is cause number 330-830, case of Styles, the state of Texas versus Ronald Wayne Kennedy Jr. Mr. Kennedy, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Kennedy?
I'm all right.
That's good, Mr. Kennedy. You're here represented by your attorney who's appearing via Zoom, Attorney James Paget. Attorney Paget, how are you doing?
Doing well, Your Honor.
Okay, now the state in this case is represented by Attorney Tony Coleman. Attorney Coleman, how are you doing?
Good, Your Honor.
Mr. Paget, what's your announcement in Mr. Kennedy's case?
Your Honor, he has a companion, he has a motion to revoke probation in drug impact court. We were there this morning. They are not going forward with the motion to revoke. Therefore, we're free to work this case out. Mr. Coleman has made me a 30-day offer. What I would like to do is verify that he in fact has enough days on the record for time served. If you would allow 30 days, this case will be disposed of.
Give us a reset date. This case is going to be reset to August 29th. Okay.
There should be no problem, Your Honor. I just want to verify, in fact, 30 days is going to be enough for time served.
Okay.
And I'll do that through the jail on my own time.
Okay, Mr. Kennedy, your case is going to be reset to August 29th, 2022. You're going to stand on the far exit, get your reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day. Thank you.
And also have a Sean Blinks, Your Honor.
Yes. This is cause number 331562, case of Style of the State of Texas versus Sean Anthony Blinks. Mr. Blinks, would you come forward? Oh, how you doing, Mr. Blinks? I'm doing fine, Mr. Blinks. You're here represented by your attorney, James Paget. Attorney Paget, what's your announcement in Mr. Blinks' case?
Your Honor, he has a case in drug impact court that's
Right.
being reset due to discovery issues. I'm not certain what day they put it on. We've already checked in down there and been reset. Maybe it's in the system by now.
18? Okay, his felony case has been reset to July 18th of 2022. You want this case set on the same date?
Absolutely, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Blinks, your case is going to be reset with your felony case on July 18th, 2022. On that day, you're going to need to come here and check in, then go to the drug court. Once you finish drug court, come back here. All right? Stand on the X in front of the court coordinator. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Paget, is this your last case?
It is, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Paget, you're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor. You too.
You're welcome. This is cause number, well, we have three cases. Cause number 324-371-A, cause number 324-380-1, and cause number 324-472. All three cases are Style of State of Texas versus Drake Dalton Furlow. Mr. Furlow is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Furlow, you can take the mic off of mute. Mr. Furlow, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you, Your Honor. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Furlow, you're represented in your cases by your attorney.
Yes, sir.
Have you been in contact with Mr. Swallow? Because he's not here.
I tried to contact him this morning and I wasn't able to get a hold of him.
Okay, just hold on. We're gonna see if we can make contact with him. Hold on. Just
Yes,
put your
sir.
mic on mute.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the person on Zoom that has iPhone, will please put your mic on mute. Thank you. Mr. Kelly,
Yes, Judge.
have you been able to get in contact with Brett Tyler Mercantile?
Yes, Your Honor. He should be in your waiting room right now.
It must be him on the iPhone. Brett, oh, that's Mr. Mercantile?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is cause number 329-724 and cause number 332-076. Both cases are Style of State of Texas versus Brett Tyler Mercantile. Mr. Mercantile, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fine, Mr. Mercantile. You're represented by your attorney, Mr. Tom Kelly. Mr. Kelly, what's your announcement in Mr. Mercantile cases?
Your Honor, I'm not familiar with the facts of that second cause number. If you would allow us a regular reset to allow me to get discovery on it and figure out what we need to do, we'd appreciate it very much, Judge.
Okay, now just for the record, the second case, it appears that you did not send a letter of representation in on the second case. We have you as the attorney of record on the first case, but not the second case.
Right, Judge, and I've just learned about that over the weekend, so I will
Okay.
send the necessary letters to get that fixed.
Okay. Give us a reset date.
August 29th.
Okay, Mr. Mercantile, your cases will be reset to August 29th, 2022. Stay in contact with your attorney, Mr. Tom Kelly. Mr. Kelly, your reset will be sent with the court date of August 29th, 2022. This will conclude your cases. Mr. Mercantile, you're free to go. You have a blessed day. And Mr. Kelly, this
Yes, sir.
concludes your case as well. You're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Mr. Gonzalez, your case was reset by your attorney. The reset date is September 12th of 2022. And we're gonna remove you from the Zoom. Wait up.
Did Ms. Peraza wanted this on the same day?
Yeah.
June 20, okay. Let me- Mr. Dahl, Jason Dahl. Jason Dahl. Maybe in another. Mr. Furlow.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, your attorney maybe in another court or something. We just tried to call him and he did not, we had to leave a message. So what we're going to do is reset your case. And just hold on for your reset date.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, that's fine. What date? Okay, Mr. Furlow, this case is going to be reset to September 12th, 2022. And Mr. Furlow, once you get your resets, well, we're going to send you your attorney and your bondsman your reset date. The case will start at 9 a.m. You're free to go. Stay in contact with your bondsman and your attorney, and thanks for being patient with us.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, you have a blessed day.
You as well. Thank you.
Jason Dahl? Mr. Dahl? Announcement, the next.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here,
Mr.
Judge.
Mr. Dahl, your attorney had appeared earlier and told us about your medical situation.
Yes, sir.
Your case has been reset to August 1st of 2022 at 9 a.m. The court will be praying that you have a a full and speedy recovery. You're free to go.
Oh, yeah, good. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you're welcome. You have a blessed day. Quarter being recessed to 1:30.